Yo, 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 what's happening, guys? Metaverse Milan here. How are we all today? We're about another video. We're in LA currently. Just wanted to jump on and actually talk about the economy and everything going on with Upland. Basically, explain yesterday's video as well, and how I believe like $3,000 to 3 million UPEX, and just basically the economy and how I see it growing in the future as well. Because I just see a lot of players are pushing forward with Upland and see the potential. A lot of players are like skeptical about the UPEX and stuff as well, so I thought this video would be really cool just to actually go through my personal kind of growth in Upland and what I believe. And like with this account, this doesn't go for anything Upland suggests, so this doesn't go for any other players. This is my personal beliefs in Upland and what I actually see happening with the game and going forward in the future. I've invested over $6,000 in the game as well, so I think it's from a good place as well, like actually looking at going in that kind of trajectory for Upland as well. So this is basically my kind of view on it and how I go approach this game of Upland. So as you can see, I've got over 1,000 properties in the account right now, and then that's sitting at 8.76 million right now. So I've managed to get this account up 3 million UPEX in profit, and then 1,000 UPEX is $1. So I'll always count that 3 million as profit. It's not gone into the actual wallet, so it's not money I'll withdraw from the account, but I don't plan to withdraw. If I had $3,000 in here, I would want to reinvest it into the game because I don't believe this is high enough to actually make enough money off the strategy I'm going for. Like, I believe this is going to be up at least like 60 to 80 million before I start like taking money out or considering that as an option to use an Upland. I believe in the game, and like if I wanted just to take money out quickly, I'd have put my money in stocks or other stuff as well. Like if I wasn't behind the game of Upland and like loved just the game and the community, I wouldn't have done this way with any investment at all. The reason that you can actually make some money off something you love and like a game what you can play forever, and then it actually generates a little bit of income, is more than happy. If this game made $100 a month, I'd be over the moon with this YouTube channel, being able to do these videos and just having a good time with the community as well. But like I do see the potential in it as well. I don't see always the dollar floor. Like the dollar floor, you're looking at 50%. Like obviously a comment about the Manhattan floor. So yeah, if you're going to buy a property in Manhattan for 100,000 UPEX, you'd sell it for $40, $50, which is, yeah, that's where the economy is right now in Upland. But why would I buy a property at 50%? Like, I wouldn't be buying the properties or using this strategy if the property was $100, because then you wouldn't be able to buy in. If I think about it like a stock, so if you think about like an Amazon stock, like you'll always want it to be in the red if you're going to buy. You want to like make that difference between the profit. So you want to buy something when it's going down, it's not valuable, it's like there's stuff going on, and then you want to sell when it's high. With my kind of gameplay in that, like I see LA is really big, a lot of properties, like the market's really low right now, and then I see that growing over the next like 5 years to something what's really got some really good potential. But that won't grow without creators making content and videos about LA and other places, like all their different nodes. Like there's a lot of really good content creators and people playing Upland as well, and the more people push the message and the good kind of message about Upland, you can see like the actual supply and demand as well. So if you look at the Upland accounts, there's a lot of big players trying to get dollars out of the game, which is fair enough. But if there's more people trying to sell for dollars than people wanting to buy for dollars, then you end up with like more supply, and then there is demand. So then that's when the prices will go down as well. So I believe like once more players actually start coming into the game, once they release new features, you've got Totem, you've got everything to go on with that at the moment. You've got Sparklet next year. There's so much other stuff. Hopefully there'll be stuff with utility next year as well. But even if it doesn't come next year, it'll definitely be here the next year after. So I'm playing Upland for like, I see it as a game that I play year after year after year. It's not money I'm putting into like I need to make a return on like this set date next year, or the numbers have to be exact. Like that's not how I'm trying to grow the account. I really do believe with like Granada Hills and other places as well, how we're actually growing the floor and actually building the value up. Now the floor is growing and a lot of those properties are worth like 40 to 50%. So I've got so much good assets where I can sell for a higher price, generating UPEX in the account. And when the market's sitting at 50%, that just means I can buy as much as I can, and I can get twice as much for the same amount, which is amazing because you still get the 14.7% yield off the full amount of the mint price, not actually off the price you purchased it for. So this is like the best time in Upland to grow and actually like get your properties and your assets. It's not financial advice, but I'm glad the market's where it is right now, and like I do want to see Upland like get stronger the economy, but like you've got to be able to build the economy before it gets to that point. And if a lot of players are just like withdrawing the money and not actually reinvesting it into the game, like there's not enough cash like circulating around the economy. So I do believe like the more players will want to like kind of keep the money in the game and want to actually grow it, kind of like when Upland first came out and players believed in the actual growth of the properties, and like they actually seen the value, the dollars was a lot higher. And then you've got to remember as well, like every time you earn yield off your properties, it's in UPEX as well, so there is naturally going to be more UPEX circling around. More players are like inclined or like tempted to pay with UPEX because you get UPEX for free, so it's always going to be an UPEX sale. But like dollar sales are really good, and if I'm getting like say 60 to 80% markup on some properties, I might be actually tempted to sell them. Like it just depends in the future, but for the like next 5 to probably 10 years, I really don't look at it as a kind of like way to get money out. I see this as like kind of like a node, like a place to actually invest for years and years and years to come. Like I want Granada Hills to like grow, like the racetrack, the factory. Once we get the factory online, we can start making a lot more kind of like business moves with the players and stuff like that. We can start to like manufacture. We've got a massive lot as well, so this will create UPEX going to the showroom, and then like transport as well. Just with that kind of value to the game in Granada Hills, I'm actually increasing the value in this node. So it's up to the players to actually bring their value and their like kind of ideas to the game, like whether it's creating YouTube content, whether you're building a meta venture or something else, or you're doing like a competition. You're trying to just like grow your account and the actual properties. They're not just going to sell by themselves. Like I've sold over like I think about 300 to 400 properties now in Upland, and yeah, they've sold like some weeks and some months are really fast. You can make like 200,000-300,000 UPEX a month, which is amazing. I've had some months where I've made like 50,000-60,000 UPEX off the sales. It goes up and down. It's like a market. I'm very not worried about that. Like it is nice to see like a lot of sales coming in as well, but once the sales don't come in, it means I can get a lot more property. So when it's high, I'm not selling. Like when it's high, sorry, I'm selling, but when it's low, I'm buying as much as I can. And I do see like the utility in the game, like the property. You know, it's been 4 years now. I do believe like Upland need to like go back to the property. I believe a lot of players will actually I've invested into the game, wanted to see like more utility with the structures and everything to do with the rent instead of like the Web3 kind of stuff. So I do believe there's ways and reasons why the market as well as like players and stuff as well. So there's a lot of reasons for it, but I do believe when Upland go back to the actual utility and the structures, and like the cars come out, the totem comes out, everything what goes back to the game of Upland, you know, and that's when I really see the value going up over the next couple of years. And Upland watches the videos, Upland watches a lot of other players' videos as well, so they're not just not going to do something or go against what the majority of the players are saying just for the sake of it. I like really support Upland and that. I've like got a lot of time for them. Like the way they've developed this game, I just think's absolutely incredible. But yeah, you can see where, like, of course, if you built structures and that you've built, like, there's nothing you can really, like, you can manufacture, yeah, but like, what's a reason for building an apartment right now except for a meta venture? So once you can actually start to earn money and rent and other reasons off your properties, and like there's different like vehicles, like taxi services, I just believe the more like kind of mechanics come into the actual main game, the more valuable the game becomes, the more players will want to come in as well. It's good to see Upland's advertising as well. I've seen a lot more advertising on their part as well, so it's nice to see that kind of thing. Christmas time as well, so hopefully the markets go up, people getting money for Christmas and stuff like that, so hopefully you see a little rise in like the end of December, January time as well. But I do believe like they've got such a good foundation, and like with a little bit more like growth and a lot more kind of like utility to the properties and that kind of stuff, and everything what's going on with that side of the game, I believe they can go really far as well. Maybe spend like a bit less time on the actual Web3 super app side of stuff, and maybe go back to the foundation of the actual game a bit more before like you kind of stretch out too far. Because with the utility and stuff like that, you know, it'd be nice to have like a night and day cycle. It'd nice to be have like roads, you know, you can see the pavements, the lampposts, you know, stuff like that. Even if you had to pay like electric for like the lights on at night, or just a way that like Upland can get some money back as well. You know, imagine if you had to pay like for electric costs, but then if someone like rented the property, you could rent each floor out or unit for a certain price. So there's ways like Upland can make more UPEX back, so you still get the 14.7%, but maybe like you have to pay like a certain percentage on the electric bill, you have to pay the certain percentage on how many like vehicles, and like just loads of different stuff in the future. What would make it really interesting and different ways to actually make UPEX, and if you didn't do it this way you'd lose UPEX. It's not just about like adding loads of like expensive hard features to the game, just like lots of good ways to actually like go around Upland, and just different kind of different mechanics, like, you know, the burn mechanics coming out. Imagine if you could like upgrade your apartment, like you have a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4 and level 5. So you've not got different structures right now, but maybe you could actually like upgrade it, and then that like decreased how much it cost to actually like own it. So like maybe like you got level 2, you had solar panels or something, so your electric bill dropped. You know, just loads of little ideas what would actually add the game. And then definitely a property page, so you could actually see all your properties in that, because right now we've got over, I think we've got 1,600 properties right now. I did list all the properties the other night, but it took me about 7 hours to actually get everything going. So now we've got every single property online. So if you want to buy any properties at James UK is my Upland username. Go give me a visit, give me a message if you want to chat, talk about stuff what I'm talking about in this video and other stuff as well, because I really do love the opinions and like kind of the other opinions about the game. A lot of people have invested like money into the game, and like I was speaking to someone about FIFA cards and stuff. Like, yeah, there's a lot of like players what have put a lot of money in, and like kind of FIFA's, like, I wouldn't personally be buying FIFA cards, so I can understand like his frustration. Hopefully next year they actually bring in some more like mechanics. I was thinking about like being like a burn mechanic for the FIFA cards where you can upgrade them. You know, like you maybe have like a shiny card, like a gold card, kind of like in Pokemon and other kind of places, like rare cards and stuff, so you could like swap 2 standards or 3 standards for a rare for the same player kind of thing, but a more valuable one. So if you had loads of the same copy of card what's not very valuable, you could upgrade those cards to a more valuable card kind of idea. Like maybe if you could upgrade totems, like 2 totems would burn and then you'd get like a super totem, or that kind of idea. So like players have actually got to grow their accounts. But I do believe like once the next World Cup comes out, obviously there'll be partnerships still with Upland as well, and I believe like you could actually like increase the value at that point in the game. But yeah, it's a very very tricky one with like the FIFA cards and other stuff as well, because as you know I talk about the property side of stuff, like the rent, the utility, everything I like playing in the game, and I document that process. But I'm not really big into FIFA and stuff. I have got a few of the cards when I started in the game, but I didn't really see the value of like the FIFA going forward. Like, I know that sounds bad, but it's good for a lot of players. But like, it's FIFA only works if like there's enough players playing the actual original game, and that's the way I see it now. If you've got like, you've got all the FIFA stuff right now, you've got all this other stuff, but then you're bringing out like all these Web3 games as well. It's like there's too much for how many players are actually on the game right now. So it'll be great when there's like 1 million players playing Upland and there's all these different options for them to play. But right now it's like your core foundation is with the property. So I do believe Upland know and are aware about this, and they will start tackling this kind of side of the game. And then at that point I believe like properties will be worth more, like it'll start minting out a lot quicker as well. And then like if you think about how many properties, so if we go to overview here, you can see now there's 310,000 properties in LA. Sorry, we'll go actually over to the whole of Upland just to actually see here quickly. So 310, so 4.3 million properties in Upland right now, and then 310,000. So I believe if they don't bring out another city for a while as well, the dollar sales, the price will go up as well, because there's not any properties like for less for minting. So if you think about this number here, if this number goes down to say 250,000, 200,000, there'll be like a third less properties that you can buy for under mint. So that'll raise the price up, because more players will have to go and buy off the secondary market, because the mint price for like Granada Hills is now 2,300 UPEX roundabout, whereas before it was 11,000. So now if any properties are like on the secondary market what are below 12,500, roughly 12,300, those properties are more likely to sell now. So like as long as there's new properties what don't come into Granada Hills or LA what are below that price, naturally the price is just going to go up as well. So I do see like it's nice to see the new cities coming out. They need to have the new cities coming out to, like, it's a balance. I understand that, to get new players into the game. The new city releases are amazing, but then there can't be too much properties as well. If you think about it on like a timeline over a year, this went up to like 305,000, then it went up to like say 340,000 if they released 35,000 properties or whatever, say roundabout roughly, and now this is at 310 again. If this goes down to like 280 and then they release another one, that'll pop it back up to like 315, but then it can go down to like 240, 250 before they release a new one, you know. So hopefully, like, the cities, well, they are, like, LA's still minting out regardless of how many cities come out in Upland. So no matter what's happening with LA, we'll have a look at it quickly right now. So it's not fully minted out yet, so it's still got like over 100,000 properties, what you can actually get in LA right now. But if you actually look at this, 135,000, so this is probably going down like a couple of hundred properties every single day, which is really cool to see. But like, even in about a year's time, say this is like nearly minted out, or like 50,000 properties left or whatever, that'll be like, there's 100,000, 80,000 properties there what aren't still to be bought, like minted. So this means like there's a lot less properties in LA. So when they release a new city, they could release a bigger city, or they could release a city more often, because there's not going to be too many. Because if they keep releasing a city right now, this is just going to go up to 400,000-500,000 unminted, and then the players what have got a lot of property in the game, what have been playing for a long time, are not going to be able to withdraw that money, because like there will be, but like it'll be less kind of like push towards their properties over these properties. So then the players are getting frustrated with a lot of money. So it's a balancing act. But then if you don't have enough unminted properties, the players what come into the game, there's not going to be any properties they can buy, so they're not going to have a good time either, because all the properties are like too expensive. So that's why FSA and other like kind of ways come into the game as well. So I do believe this is a balancing act. I believe like every single time a new city comes out, there's still going to be, this is going to go down like 10, 20,000 regardless. And then as long as Upland don't release another big city yet, I do want another big city, but once this gets down to 200,000 unminted, they'll be able to like release a new big city, and it would still be at the same point the economy as it is now. Obviously, I'm not an expert at this, or like Dirk knows a lot about the economy, and that's why I believe in this game. But the less properties what are here, the more valuable these secondary market properties will be. And then the more like properties you mint out in a certain neighbourhood at the low price, so say non-FSA properties, it was 10,000 UPEX. If you mint that up to 12,000 UPEX, there's not any properties below 12,000 UPEX unless you get FSA now. So that just drives the players to actually look at properties less than 12,000 in these two markets. If there's none for UPEX, that makes the dollar value a lot more like kind of appealing for players to go for as well. So it's all about like driving the market to your properties as well. Like, you know, individually in Granada Hills now we've got over 400 properties. Those 400 properties are going to be so hard to sell all together, like, you know, individually. Like, so that's why they're on the market, and like everything I sell just goes back into Granada Hills. But if this is easier to explain, like, you know, so the properties I've got 400 properties right now. Say I bought them all for $5-6 and I'm trying to sell them for 10,000-11,000 UPEX. Before, you wouldn't be able to do that, because you could buy a property in Granada Hills for like 8,000 UPEX, 9,000 UPEX, like, to mint a property. But now all those properties are gone. Those 400 properties are more valuable. So for me on this account, I've actually got a lot of opportunities. So say I go to LA on here, Los Angeles, and then to Granada Hills. So all I have to do now is on this is I'll actually show you, because this kind of gives you an idea to what I'm thinking. If I go to UPEX right now, you can actually see, and then we'll go to sale price, and 9,900 now is a floor. Someone's put one on for 9,900. So I've got like all my properties, 400 properties sitting at about 12,000 UPEX. Say I've got 300 of them at 12,000 UPEX, the other 100 are more expensive or whatever. So 75% of my properties are about $5 in Granada Hills, and then I want to sell them for like 10-12,000 UPEX. Now my properties will start selling around about 10,000 UPEX, but I've listed them for 12,000 UPEX. So all I'd have to do is buy this floor. So I'd have to invest on just this floor alone. I'd probably have to invest about 110,000 UPEX, and then on this second page I'd have to invest probably 120,000 UPEX. But then on this third page, we're getting up to the 12,000 now. So like, if I invest about 300,000 UPEX, that means I could sell every single property my properties will be on the market at the lowest price. So I've got 300 properties, say, what now are at 12,000 UPEX, which is the cheapest in Upland. I bought them for $5, so that's like a 7,000 UPEX profit. Take away the 5%, so say 6,000, like 6,500. If you times that by like 300 properties, you know what I mean, 65, 650. So yeah, like a lot of UPEX, millions of UPEX there. But I've only spent 300,000 buying these properties here to get the floor to that price. I'm not like, there's different ways to think about actually making UPEX and dollars on the like Upland as well. It's not just individually selling properties to me. The more I can target the floor now, the more I can control a lot more of my properties. It'll be nice once like there's different like kind of like options and menus where you can actually market your properties and other stuff in the game. But right now I have to go through every property individually. So if I'm buying properties for about $5-6, I'll set a market at like 12,000 UPEX or whatever, and then I'll just tackle the floor buying up to that 12,000 UPEX, and then the floor will go up naturally to that point, and then those 300 properties are worth that point, and I've raised up 300 properties at the same time instead of like just adding value to one property. So that's like a really good way I actually like raise the floor and like sell more properties in Upland. And then if you go into the dollar strategy as well, if we actually go over to here again and then go for dollars, and then we'll search Granada Hills for dollars. Right now someone's put up for dollars for $5, so you can actually see this property at 59% markups. Someone will buy that property right now, and then someone will get these properties as well. But now there's a lot of properties. See, the markups are getting higher. You can get some, let's have a wee look, 36% markup, $7.99. So this would be a great property if we could afford to buy it right now. But then the more properties what are actually going, the less people will sell. So for dollars, I'll sell like obviously for this markup in dollars right now because I want to get the money out of the game. But then eventually all these properties will be gone, and then you'll start to see less of that because we will never sell for like less than the market. So we're going to hold these properties and keep the value high as well. So eventually there won't be enough properties left in Granada Hills below like that price to sell at that markup. So there'll be less players wanting to lose money that way as well. So some players want to get money out of the game, which is fair enough, like totally understandable and that, but like that would be really good to actually get that property, but we can't afford that right now. But that's kind of properties we'll be looking at. You can get so much into the game right now, and then over the next couple of years, maybe the next 5 years, there's going to be such good kind of growth to the game as well. I do really stand behind the game and like the developers and like the Upland team as well, and I'm very confident with the growth of it. Nothing runs smooth in the world, like there is always going to be hiccups. This is coming out live, so there's always going to be testing of new products and stuff as well. So but that's the fun in it as well. Like that's why I'm so glad they released it instead of waiting until next year till we can all play it, you know. Like, so yeah, that's why I like to invest in Upland and where I see the growth in the game as well. So yeah, I just wanted to jump on and actually talk about that as well, because I see the growth over like years and years to come, not right now in the game. So I see this net worth, I'll be able to get this up, like say I put like 6,000 in over 12 months, 500 a month. I'll be able to sell those properties, say I'm getting for 30 to 50% markup, I'll be able to sell those for like double the amount in UPEX over probably 6 months. So I know that I can be able to put 6,000 in and make probably like 10,000 back, like, or 10. So if I'd done that 6 million UPEX, I'd probably be close to get 10 million back because the properties are worth that once they sell. So I'll be able to get this account up close to 20 million by the end of next year, and then the year after the account will be making about 5 million UPEX a year. So then we'll be able to make 11, 12 million the next year, you know. So then the next year after that should be like close to 32, 33 million UPEX, and then the year after that you get it as well, like close to like 48, that kind of price. It will compound very quickly, so I do believe after year 5, if we can heavy push the account, like we will be able to get close to like 80 to 100 million UPEX, and then we'll be close to like getting to that chief executive point as well. So we will document every like process, every step we actually do as well, and then once the factory comes online we can actually start that going as well. The showroom, the racetrack, everything like that's going on as well. There's a lot of players jumping on now to the nodes. Yeah, stay positive, push the message as well. The more players will actually come in and are positive about the game, the more money going into the economy, and the more players will actually can sell property again. So if we all work together we can get Upland to the place we all want it to be. So yeah, hope this video has been interesting, guys. Hope you're having a really good Christmas. Jump on the comments if you want to actually chat about anything. I'm also on Discord as well, and then James UK on Upland. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one, guys. Peace.